Hey yo, welcome to the Best Day Ever podcast. I am your host, Tru Sav, on this special holiday edition of the show. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us, whatever you're celebrating today. We really don't care here at the podcast. We're non-denominational. This is my least favorite time of the year for a plethora of reasons. The number one being, I hate peppermint, I hate eggnog, I hate fake emotions. I just really am a Ebenezer Scrooge, the Grinch, every salty person in every holiday movie ever rolled up into one. I fucking hate this time of year. And I don't know why. Well, yes, I do. Let me stop lying. I gotta blame it on Richard. I gotta blame it all on my parents. For the longest time. Well, we'll get into why I hate that later. More important things going on. So, the penthouse is coming together rather nicely. I think we have one box left, and we'll be all moved in. Everything will be nice and situated, and we'll start accepting guests. So make sure you get on that guest list. Guest list is at bestdayeverpodcast@gmail.com. We're doing tours, parties, all that. New Year's is going to be a good one. Even if we're here just by ourselves, that should be an interesting one. I was at work, one of the two jobs, and I was telling my coworkers a couple stories I'm going to tell you guys. And I had an overwhelming thought that just kept going through my mind. I kept thinking, something's wrong with me. Like, not physically, just like, something's wrong with me. I don't really adhere to the social norms, anything like that. And it's like, I just think so far out of the box. I think that's why people can't relate to a lot of stuff that I'm doing. Because it's just, I'll give you an example. I got into an argument with a homeless person the other day. I know. I don't know what came over me. I don't know what brought this on. I was walking to my car in the morning. Well, I was walking to BART in the morning to head to work. And there's these homeless people who was just yelling. It's 5:30 in the morning when I leave to go to work. And they're out front of the building just blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, hey, yo, shut the fuck up before I slap the shit out of you. What'd you say? I said, shut the fuck up before I slap the shit out of your bum ass. Oh, who are you talking to? This is like you stinky fuck. Shut the fuck up. Tired of hearing your bullshit. Why don't you go do something? What the fuck are you assholes arguing about anyways? It's 5:30 in the morning. Go do something. They just kick you out of the shelter or what? Fucking dust buckets. So this goes on for like maybe 30 seconds a minute. And I had to really catch myself. Like, I was literally arguing with a homeless person. And I was just like, yeah, something's fucking wrong with me. Like, what am I doing? I'm not the savage that I used to be, but sometimes I show flashes of it. And it really is starting to show nowadays. Like, I get the grumpy old man thing. Like, the older I get, the less tolerance I have for bullshit. Like, any of this nonsense, like, I don't understand. Another thing I really don't understand is the dude I was arguing with, his girlfriend had to calm him down. Like, oh, he's not worth it, babe. Well, it's like, wait a minute. You two motherfuckers sleep under a cardboard box by the 7-Eleven garbage can. And you're going to tell me that I'm not worth arguing with. First of all, fuck you and fuck this raggedy bitch that you're with. But number two, how the fuck do you have a girlfriend? Pardon me. I'm under the weather. It's this fucking Christmas weather. I feel like I'm going to die. But how the fuck do you have a girlfriend? Like, you got to be the downest bitch in the world to be sleeping with a nigga that has nowhere to sleep at. Like y'all are just cuddled up together in the privacy of your tent in the park. Like that's got to be some game for your ass. Like what did he say to you to make you his girl? Like I guess. But even if you are homeless and you got a girlfriend, like if a motherfucker rides by with a bike that's shinier than yours or a tenner that's nicer than yours, you're ass out. I don't know. I don't even know why I think about these kinds of things. Like I said, something's wrong with me. So as I'm sharing this story in the break room, or I'm telling one of the employees when I get to work, I'm explaining to her what happened, and she's like, "Oh, that's nothing." She begins to tell me how she went to a Christmas program for her son the night before. You know, they dress up and somebody's a tree and somebody's a wise man and this and this and this. And a fight broke out at the Christmas program. Shout out to West Oakland. Only in Oakland. And she says that, and this is like one of those, not private schools, but what is it? Like a magnet program school, something, whatever. Apparently, there's a lot of people that go to this school who are like your boy, and someone messed up their lines or someone did something, and one of the parents got to laughing, and the parent of the child who was getting laughed at didn't like it, and it came to blows. And the kids are screaming, the parents are fighting, they finally got to cut the lights on, the police came, there's pepper spray, and I'm just like, damn. And so my first question was, does anyone have it on video? And she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, I'm just saying, bro, like, it sounds like a good time. I don't know. I can't help it. So, she went on to tell me about her, because we started talking about, like, being kids and dealing with that type of stuff, and she said she was a Girl Scout. So I said, oh, that's what's up. Like, I was a Boy Scout. And she's like, oh, did you like it? I was like, yeah, I liked everything except us having to wear those coochie cutters. She's like, what? She's like, yeah, they made us wear those thigh-high fucking khaki shorts out in the woods. It was like, that wasn't cool. But I mean, other than that, you know what I'm saying, we got to play with knives and shoot BB guns and start fires and shit. Like, it was cool. I was like, how did you like the Girl Scouts? She's like, I mean, I liked it. Other than the cookie turf war. I was like, wait, cookie what? And so I told her that Girl Scouts is the last form of child labor that's acceptable in the United States. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, the Girl Scouts are the only company that uses child labor and doesn't get in trouble for it. Like, they have hundreds of different troops, thousands, I should say, of different troops all over the United States selling Girl Scout cookies. And no one bats an eye. Because if you really think about it, they don't have stores. You can't order them online. You can only buy them from Girl Scouts. So it's pretty much they're getting away with not giving you any portion of the sales. Like, yeah, you probably get a trip here or a trip there. But, I mean, think about the number of cookies that they sell every year. But I digress. So she says that they were selling cookies, and apparently they went into a grocery store. They were selling cookies in front of a grocery store that was a block outside of their turf, apparently. So the girl comes up, tells her that she can't sell cookies over there, and knocks her table over. So I was like, say word. And she was like, yeah, like that's what happened. So I was like, okay. So what did you do? She's like, well, I went and told my mom, and my mom came back with me, and my mom beat up her mom in front of the grocery store. And I'm like, for real? She was like, oh, yeah, like, shit like that happens all the time out here, like, especially in West Oakland. And I was like, damn, for real? Like, y'all are gangbanging over who could sell cookies? And she was like, shit, people will do whatever for their kids. I was like, man, I guess. God bless you. I'm like, that's a little deep for me. But hey, whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fucking dying. This is going to be a rough one today, boys and girls. So this was at a Dickie's when this had happened. So we're going through the lunch rush. Next thing I know, I get a customer, a rather SpongeBob SquarePants shaped lady, and I go through the row thing. Hey, how you doing? She said, oh, I'm fine. She's like, how are you doing? I say, oh, best day ever. She goes, oh, rather facetious, aren't we? And so I kind of look at her because I know what facetious means, and I tell her, oh, did you mean disingenuous? And so now she's stuck, and she said, well, I was like, well, why do you think that I'm lying about today being the best day ever? And she didn't really have a response. So I said, well, why don't you ask me why today is the best day ever? So she asked me, I go through the spiel, can't get yesterday, might not get tomorrow. She said, oh, well, thank you for giving me some perspective on that. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, why would you even go through all that? Like, why did you feel the need to do that? Like, if you thought I was bullshitting you, why not just leave it at that? But, like, why the need for the verbal judo? Why do we even have to go back and forth? And it made me think, well, I shouldn't even say it made me think. It was just kind of like, why are you being such a buster about this? And I always get, there's two kinds of people who I have issues with. It's short dudes and gay women. It's the it's the weirdest fucking thing. Nobody, every now and then somebody else will try me, but it's always those two categories every time. Or I don't know, there's a certain kind of ugly broads. Ugly women, short men, and gay women give me the hardest fucking time. Like, they always just got something to say to me, which is weird because I'm the nicest person you've ever met. But every fucking time, it's like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand. We talked about this last time. It's like, do you think that acting like that is going to make me, like, respect you or something? Or and it made me kind of think about gender roles in general, and like how men and women are supposed to act. Well, how society says that men and women are supposed to act. Which reminds me, I had a manager this week, speaking of gender roles, and so I think I talked before about, like, male and female, not pronouns. Well, yeah, I talked about, there's a coworker I'd worked with that did the male and female pronoun thing, where they don't want to be called he or she. They want to be called they, them, us, our. And so there's an employee that works there that doesn't use male or female pronouns. He's new. Like, we just hired him. Oh, we just hired them. Excuse me. I'm going to fuck up a couple times on this. I hired them, and they don't use male or female pronouns. And on their name badge, it says they/them. Now, this is a very sensitive subject for some people. Personally, I don't get it. Like, if that's what people want to be called, that's what people want to be called. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you can't respect it. But I digress. So one of the managers decided, because they wear a training bra or some, I'm not privy to what it is. I don't really care. I stay out of it. Well, they are transitioning from a man to a woman. And I think it's like they're taking the hormones and all that type of stuff. And one of the managers decided to tell them that they couldn't wear their training bra. They had to pick a gender. So, of course, I wasn't there when this happened. So I come in, and they were upset, and they explained to me what had happened. And so the first thing I'm thinking is, there's no fucking way that this happened. Like, how fucking stupid do you have to be to tell somebody this? Like, what is wrong with you? So I asked the manager what happened, And basically she said that not that it made her uncomfortable, but that I guess customers had an issue with it, and to make the uneasiness go away, she took it upon herself to tell them that they needed to take off this training bra, or whatever. So now I'm like, okay, you've now put us in the worst situation possible because, like, this is gender discrimination, fool. You can't tell somebody that. Regardless of how you feel or how uncomfortable people are, it doesn't fucking matter. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, oh my God. So this fucked my entire situation up. Because now it's like, what do I do with this? How do I fucking tap dance around this situation? Hopefully they will let it go and accept an apology and we can move on. Because if they don't, it's going to be called their dickies. So it's, and the end it begs the question. And the craziest part about it is the manager who said something is gay. Yeah. So the gay manager said to the transgender person, you can't do that because that makes people uncomfortable. I know, right? Irony abounds. Like, what? It's such a headache. But this, of course, had me thinking about gender roles and what is the man supposed to do? What is the woman supposed to do? Because a lot of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, it's the same argument over and over and over and over. Well, is the woman supposed to cook and clean? Is the man supposed to be the provider? Is the man supposed to do this? So on and so forth. And a lot of times, I think now with the way society is now, it's not what it used to be. It's not the man makes all the money, the woman can afford to stay at home and raise children. Like, that's just not. In very few circumstances does anyone make enough money that they can be the head of household and the other person can stay at home. There are the situations where it's possible. It's not out here in California, but there are certain states and certain situations where that's possible. I mean, I'm here to tell you, if my wife was the greater wage earner and she was like, do you want to stay at home and raise the kids? She wouldn't even finish the sentence. Like, I'm there. I'm rocking. Like, it's, and not even from the standpoint of I want to sit at home and not do anything. More so, you're now able to make sure that, number one, your child is being taken care of and is in a safe environment. Because as many times as you turn on the TV and you see kids being abused at the daycare, hit by the daycare people, neglected, assaulted by other kids, you can make sure that they're being taught the things that you actually want them to be taught. They're not going to pick up bad habits. And there's no way to protect them from this 100% because they're going to have to go to some sort of schooling and they're going to pick up habits. But I would prefer that myself or a parent was there so that we have some sort of control over what the child is learning and being taught. Like, that would be amazing. We had this discussion at work a while back and everyone had got mad at me because I was like, I mean, to be honest, ladies, you guys gave up the best deal ever. The man had to make enough money to support you, all the children, support the household, and all you had to do was raise the kids. Well, that's not to say that raising kids is easy by any stretch of the imagination. But who the fuck wants to go to work? Like, the whole rat race is fucked up. Like, I get it. If you want to make your own money, you don't want to depend on a man, God bless you. But just to do it, to say you can do it, yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. You gave up a hell of a deal, guys. I don't know. And then women make more than most men now any days. Women are more educated now than at any point in human history. So a lot of times I'll also hear women say, oh, well, I want a man that's on equal footing. It's like, well, that's just not going to happen. Like, you have better jobs. You have better jobs. You make more money. Like, we're just not going to be able to compete, especially as you get older in the late 20s, early 30s. there's just not that many available men. Like, you're not that you're going to have to lower your standards, but you're going to have to be a little bit more realistic. That 6'2", 6'3", tall, dark, and handsome, makes six figures. That guy's already taken. And the fact that you outnumber us globally, that's not helping. not whatsoever. Oh my goodness. But I feel like this is only with older people, because a lot of the groups I'm in is like people that are 30 plus, 25 and up. Women that are, and this is from a very limited sampling, I should say, of a lot of the women that I work with or just talk to in the store. A lot of people under 25 don't really view gender roles the same, because they came up in a world where things were different, where men and women both worked. There isn't, the stay-at-home mom is a thing of the past. Like, I can't think of too many stay-at-home moms. I've seen more nannies than stay-at-home moms, and that just might be a Bay Area thing. But they view relationships a lot differently than I did. I mean, like I said, I just found out what this thing called Tinder is, and that blew my mind. The freedom with which they are willing to just sleep with random people and call that a relationship, and just be like, oh, well, you know, I'm sleeping with this person, that person, and that's cool. It's like, well, I mean, I'm not going to say that never happened back in the day, but not with the frequency that I would say. Like, there's people, well, some of them don't work there anymore, but there's younger people, even in their mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, that just relationship to relationship, just, and not even really my boyfriend, girlfriend, just, I'm fucking this person, oh, I'm fucking this person now, this, that, and the other, and I really am an old man now. Like, it's not strange to me, but it definitely is different. It's not something that I would ever have imagined happening in my lifetime. It's free love for real. Another thing that kind of, well, I had asked the girls not the girls. I had asked the women that I worked with, because we were talking about gender roles when we were talking about stay-at-home mom stuff, and it's like, well, you're saying that you don't want, like, the man doesn't have to, well, it's multifaceted. Some of them say that the man has to make more money because the woman shouldn't have to pay bills, so on and so forth. And I say, well, okay, so does that mean that if you make the most money, are you the head of the household? And so if you are the head of the household, do other things now transition to you? Meaning that it used to be the woman was, he took care of the home, she cooked, she cleaned, took care of the kids, stuff like that. The man was supposed to be the provider and the protector. So now are you saying that you're accepting all of that responsibility, or you're just accepting the responsibility of, I make the most money, so now I make the decisions? Like, is that what we're saying? And they kind of paused, and it was like, oh, well, I guess I am. I was like, okay, so let me offer up some situations to you. This is, I said, could you ever be with a man that got beat up in front of you? And they were like, well, yeah, of course. Like, just because you lost a fight, like, doesn't mean that I can't be with you. And they had all these sweet things to say. And, oh, if he was defending me, and la da 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 da. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm glad you feel that way. So let me offer you another example. A friend of mine, they were going on a double date. And of course, they left your boy at the house. They told me they were going to come get me. It was, who was it? I can't remember. For the point of the story, we'll call them Fred and Stan. So Stan, I talked to him and I was like, yo, come get your boy. Woo, woo, woo. So he was like, oh, yeah, for sure. Like, we'll come get you, blah, 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 blah. So needless to say, they never came and got me. So the next day, they called and they're like, oh, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, damn. I was like, you faked on me. Like, how come you didn't come swoop me? Oh, we forgot something. I was like, yeah, nigga, whatever. All right. So I was like, so what'd you guys do? They were like, oh, we ended up going to the bowling alley and we got fucking jumped last night. I was like, see, God doesn't like your bitch ass. That's what you get for acting like a bitch. So I'm like, well, what happened? It's like, well, we're out at the club or we're out at the little bowling alley thing. We're outside smoking, and these two guys walk past us. These two Mexican guys walk past us, and they say something. We say something back, such and such, such and such. So they go inside. Next thing they know, they come outside with 6 other people. So now it's 8-on-2. It's Fred, Stan, the 2 girls against the 8 of the 8 Mexican guys. So I'm like, well, what happened? So Fred and Stan are together when the story is being told. So like, yeah, fucking, we were fighting. We were just fucking, we were just knocking niggas out. And this. Just imagine Day Day from All About the Benjamins. Or I'm sorry, Mike Epps. Jesus Christ. So then he says, oh, I took my belt off and I was swinging my belt around and it fucking hit one of them in the eye and pulled the nigga's eye out, his eye socket and shit. And woo-too, I'm like, oh, word. So the 2 of y'all beat up 8 dudes. Oh, yeah, fucking this. And then we left. And I was like, okay. All right, fine. I'll leave it at that. And so they're like, well, that doesn't sound bad. Oh, just wait. So fast forward, like maybe 6-7 years. And cause the girl that was dating Stan ended up dating another friend of mine. So I was like, I ended up going with him to her daughter's like birthday party at a skating rink or something. And so when I saw her, I was like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in years. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. So as the night goes on, drinks get to flowing. I thought about the story. And I was like, oh, well, this would be a perfect time to ask. So I was like, hey, do you remember that time that you, Stan, and Fred went to the bowling alley? And she was like, yeah. I was like, so whatever happened with that? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, when they told me the story, they said that they fucking beat these dudes up and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, what? She was like, no. That's not what happened. I'm like, okay, so break it down. What happened? So the real deal apparently was they were outside. They were talking shit to these 2 dudes. The guys go inside, get their friends, and they come back outside. So when they come back, the fight breaks out. The first guy, Fred, like he tries to fight back, but I mean, it's 4-on-1. So he loses. Now the other guy, Stan, when they run up on him, oh, wait. Before they even get to Stan, the first dude is fighting. The girl that he was dating runs up like, oh, get off my dude, whoop, whoop, whoop. And she's trying to fight them. She gets knocked the fuck out. Like, punched right in the face, unconscious. She's out. They beat dude silly. They run up on... Now, remember, this is happening simultaneously, so it's not like he's watching this happen. So they run up on Stan, and Stan immediately curls up. Like, falls on the ground, covers his head, tucks his leg, straight into the fetal position. And I'm like, wait, what happened? And she was like, yeah, like, he didn't throw a punch. Like, as soon as they ran up on him, he just curled up on the ground, and that was it. I was like, are you fucking serious? And she was like, yeah. She's like, that's why we stopped dating after that, because I just couldn't respect him. Like, you talked all that shit, and when the situation arose, you just couldn't handle yourself. I was like, damn, that's embarrassing. So when I told the story, all the girls were like, "Oh yeah, no, like I couldn't fuck with you." And I was like, "But wait, you just told me that if the woman makes all of the money, she's now assumed the position of the man, and so now she has inherited the role of protector. So, I mean, if my girl got jumped and she curled up, like I mean, I wouldn't break up with her." They're like, "But you at least got to fight back." I was like, "But I mean, it's 4-on-1. Like, what's the point in trying to fight? I mean, he who runs away lives to fight another day." And they were just like, "No, no." I was like, "Well, it sounds like you're picking and choosing what gender roles you believe in. Because I mean, you should just accept the fact that he didn't get knocked the fuck out like other dude." So I go around the room. There was maybe 6 or 7 women in the room, and I asked all of them. They were all like, "Nah, I'd break up with him too." But there was one girl who kept it real and was like, "No, I'd still stay with him. I mean, you just can't fight shit. I mean, everybody can't fight. Like, even if you didn't try to fight back, I mean, it's just not in everybody." I was like, I can respect it. Like, I don't agree with it, but I can respect that. Like, not breaking up with somebody because they can't fight. I mean, shit. But whew, that was a rough one. So I offered up another story. So another time, I feel like I've told this story. We were parking lot pimping, and this was 2005, 2006. Two guys and 2 girls pull up. They're in it had to be like a motherfucking 89 Toyota Camry, like the box one from like Ninja Turtles. So she gets out looking like a young Jada Pinkett. So I'm like, oh. So the guys go in the store. The girls are outside now. I mean, parking lot pimping, for those who don't know, is when you can't get into a club or you don't want to go to a club, you show up at about 1 o'clock when the club lets out. You try to catch something walking in the parking lot. Someone walking on their way to their car. "Hey, baby, some. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I mean, hey, that's half the fun." So I see dude go inside, and let me preface this story by saying my motto when I was younger was, if your boyfriend can't beat me up, you're single. That's, again, like I said, something's wrong with me. But I mean, my whole thing was, because I'm going off of old gender roles, if he can't protect you, how can you feel safe around a motherfucker like that? Like, that's just, how can you be comfortable going out places knowing that the person you're with might be a victim along with you? But I digress. So I see her, dude goes in the store. So I immediately am like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? You're pretty fly," so on and so forth. We got to rapping, and that's how it happened. And so she's like, "Oh, well, I'm on a date with dude, and that'd be disrespectful. I can't give you my number. I'm on a date with dude." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll beat his ass. Like, stop playing with me. Like, I get it. That's cool. You're on a date with dude, but that's not going to work out. Like, I can just tell by looking at him that shit ain't going to work out." "Oh, well, no, this and this and this and this." So I'm like, "All right, it's cool. Like, I'll let it ride, whatever." So I go back to the car. We're bullshitting. So not 2 minutes later, another car pulls up. Same story. Dude gets out the car, tries to holler at her. Whoop, whoop, whoop. "Let me get your number." Some. She's like, "Nah, I'm with somebody." Next thing I know, dude punches her. Like, and I don't mean to laugh at him punching her, but it was, in the moment, it was just like, what the fuck just happened? So, and it wasn't like a fucking pussy ass punch. Like, it was a real punch. So I'm like, oh shit. So then he throws another one. That one misses. Throws another one. So by then, like, I kind of get in between them. We start talking shit. I pull up my shirt and tell him hollow tips hurt. So now it's me, the people I came with, the people he came with. We're going back and forth, talking shit. So finally, we both realize that nobody wanted to get shot, so they leave. So they're telling me, "Oh, that was so-and-so, this and this and this and this and this. He's from so-and-so and so-and-so." It was like, I mean, as long as you're not from Wakanda, we can run that shit. Like, I don't it was weird. Like it was a really weird situation. Like I've seen men and women fight before, people that were in relationships, but I've never seen the motherfucker take off on somebody that they were not in a relationship with. Just, I can't get your number, so I'm gonna fire on you. That was the strangest shit ever. Now the even stranger part was the dude who she was with had come outside. I didn't even notice because I wasn't even paying attention to him. So he saw the whole shit happen and didn't do anything. So as this is happening, because I'm joking, the motherfucker, I'm high as shit. So I didn't really have my wits about me. Her friend comes up to me and is like, "Hey, let me get your number." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." So I give her my number. On the way back home, everyone in the car with me was like, "Oh, you're a captain. I mean, Captain Save-A-Ho. You're this and this. Why did you say something?" And I was like, "Okay, let's rewind this scenario a little bit. Let's say that was your mom, your sister, your auntie, your baby mom, your daughter. Let's say that was someone that you love or you care about, and some dude fired on her because she said, 'No, you can't get my number.' And I came back to the house and told you that same story. How would you feel?" And the car got really quiet, and then no one really had an answer. I was like, "Exactly." I was like, so it had nothing to do with me talking to her. It had everything to do with the fact that, what the fuck are you punching this woman for? Like, and you can see that he was a bitch because when I served him, he didn't do anything to me. So I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from, but you guys sound like some bitches right now. Like, you sound like some real, what the fuck? Okay. My bad. I'm so sorry. This is why I don't look at my phone when I'm trying to do this. This motherfucker just sent me a picture of a girl with a pistol that looks like she got that shit from a Civil War museum. And the caption said, "That's the gun Harriet Tubman used to free the slaves. She got to walk 10 paces before she shoot that shit." I'm surprised the caption doesn't say, "Runneth up on thee for informal confrontation." What in the stagecoach robbery is going on? What in the Boston Tea Party, no taxation without representation? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. So we're in the car. They said whatever they had to say. And so, wouldn't you know it, about an hour later, my phone rings. And it was the lady. And she was like, "Hey, woo, woo, woo." I was like, she's like, "Yeah, my friend got your number, this and this and this. Like, I really appreciate that. This and this and this. Like, you were a real man." And this is, I was like, I mean, I didn't even know what to say. Like, all my Billy D. Williams had left my body. I didn't know how to be cool all of a sudden. But I did ask, I was like, "Well, I mean, what happened to dude that you were with?" "Oh, fuck that nigga, this and this and this, this and this and this." I was like, "Okay, never mind. We're just going to leave it at that." So, as a matter of fact, we ended up, we went on a couple of dates after that. I mean, it didn't really work out. But I mean, hey, everything happens for a reason. So I told them that story, and they were like, "Okay." I was like, "Now, would you date the dude who she originally was on the date with?" And they were like, "Nah, of course not. Like, I got punched and you didn't do anything? Like, somebody else had to do anything?" I was like, "Okay." So it sounds like you guys do believe in gender roles a little bit. It's like, I hear you saying that type of stuff doesn't matter, but I just gave you a couple different scenarios, and it seems like you agree with me. Something wrong with you. Yeah, I know. So it's the most horrible time of the year. Yeah. So like I said, as promised, I'm going to tell you why. I fucking hate Christmas. I fucking hate the holidays. It's a terrible time of the year. So back when I was a wee lad and we would do Christmas, my parents were always like, "Oh, this is back when Toys R Us was still around, 7 years ago." So every year, they got me with the same fucking trick every year. they would be like, yeah, like write us a list of what you want for Christmas, right? Like top 10 things or something. So I'm like, all right. So I would take the little Toys R Us thing, because back then Toys R Us had the little pamphlets that they would send out for Christmas. And I would circle all the shit that I wanted. It was usually the same thing. Legos. How old was I? What? First to sixth grade? Legos, some type of like what's that shit? Imagination station thing. Some like science fair type shit, like basic shit. Anything that you could think of that was popular back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. And every fucking year I get the same thing. Socks and drawers, nigga, and some clothes. Like that was it. I think I got a Sega Genesis one year. Like, okay, that's what's up. I mean, I'm not really complaining. I mean, other people don't have anything. Yeah, fuck all that. I never got any of the things that I ever wanted for Christmas. Never, ever, ever, ever. So this was the year. So first of all, not only was Christmas disappointing because I never got anything, but because I really believed in Santa Claus. Like, I 100% bought into the shit. Because, I mean, my parents told me. So, like, why wouldn't you? Like, I had no other choice but to believe it. So, the way that I found out Santa was real was even more fucked up. Because it was, I was going into, like, 5th, 6th grade, which was even more fucked up. Because they let it go that long. Letting me believe the shit. So, one day, it's Christmas Eve or whatever. And because again, back then, like, The Secret wasn't out. Like, now they make movies about Santa not being real and all this other type of stuff. But back then, it wasn't as prevalent. Like, it was kind of the big fucking jokes that the adults had on the kids. So, it's Christmas Eve. We put out the milk and cookies and shit. And they're like, oh, hey, will you go get your sister's present from Santa? And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, go get your sister's present from Santa. Like, we got to put it out while she's asleep. And I was like, you mean Santa's not real? And they kind of looked at each other, and they looked at me, and they were like, no. And then they could kind of see on my face that I was being serious, and they're like, you still thought that Santa was real? I was like, yeah. So now two emotions are going through me. One, I'm fucking heartbroken because I thought Santa was a real person. And two, I'm mad as fuck because I thought Santa was a real person. I'm like, bro, so you just had me looking like a fucking dummy. I'm thinking that this is some real shit going on. I'm really invested in this. And now I feel stupid as fuck. Absolutely stupid as fuck. But now then I feel even worse because I'm like, so all these years, you're blaming Santa on me not getting shit. When it was fucking you. It was you cheap bastards. You didn't give me anything I wanted. So, moving forward to the worst Christmas of all time. This was the day that I was really like, you know what? I've had enough of your shit. Like, it was my senior year of high school. So it was 1999? Yep, 1999. Going into Y2K. What happened? PlayStation 2 had just came out. It was probably like, I don't know, $150, something like that. It was a lot of money back in the day. So that was the only thing I wanted. I was like, fuck the clothes, fuck anything else. Fuck a car, fuck trips. I don't give a fuck about any of these senior trips, yearbooks, none of that shit. Fuck all of that. All I want for Christmas is the motherfucking PlayStation 2. That's it. That's all I want. I don't give a fuck about anything else. So they were like, okay. If you get your grades in order and you get your shit right, like, it's all good. We're going to lace you with the PlayStation. So I'm like, oh, this is what's up. So I'm counting down the days. So we get to Christmas, wake up Christmas morning, bam, look through the living room, like, okay, there it is. Because I had friends that had PlayStations that had gotten to me fucking before Christmas. So I know what the box looks like. I know what size it is. I'm like, oh, shit. That's the one. So I go through everything. I let everyone open all their gifts. I'm like, yeah, oh, I got a PlayStation 2. I'm about to be whooping all niggas. Oh, I'm about this. So they're like, oh, okay, open your gift from Santa, air quotes. So I'm like, all right, for sure. I get to open the presents. I pull the top off of the wrapping and I just dropped it. And I'm damn near cried again. Do you know that these motherfuckers bought a VHS cassette holder? Yes. Yes. And made it from Santa. I was ready to burn the house down. They're like, oh, you don't like your present from Santa? I was like, no, fuck no, I don't like my present from Santa. This is bullshit. No. What did you say? I said, this is bullshit. Fuck this present. I'm gonna run away. Fuck this place. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, VHS tapes were what they had before their DVDs. So they were fucking, I don't know, 8 inches by 4 inches. So the box was roughly the same size as the PlayStation 2 box. When I tell you, I cried real tears that day. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, it hurt. It was that day that I was like, you know what? Fuck Christmas. Fuck this. Like, this is the worst fucking feeling I've ever had. I hope no one ever has this feeling. Oh, but Tru Sav, what about the homeless people and what about the people? Fuck all of that. In that moment, I was mad as shit because I was fucking 17 years old. No, I was 17. I just turned 17. So I was like, yeah, I'm fucking crushed. Another year, no fucking PlayStation. I don't think I've got what I wanted since on Christmas. So yeah, that was the worst Christmas of all time. And then I think the next year I had like 102-degree fever. And that was when my dad was like, oh, so someone's supposed to feel sorry for you because you're sick? We shut that bitch ass shit up. It was just like, another Christmas here at the Savage House. So like, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. And then as the years went on, it was just the same shit for Christmas. Clothes, socks and drawers. Made me an envelope with a couple of dollars in it. So yeah, it was not my favorite holiday, to say the least. This, of course, coupled with the fact that in, 2007, our man Savtacular actually died on Christmas Day. So you couple the fact with me never getting shit on Christmas with that, and it just kind of doesn't make the holiday really feel like anything to celebrate. Like, it's just another day. I just don't really get excited about it. And it's, again, something's wrong with me because I literally forget that it's the holidays, and I forget that I'm supposed to put on this front like I care. And I know people think I'm strange because it's like, even at work, people say, oh, happy holidays. And I'm like, happy holidays? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, it's Christmas. And yeah. Good for you. I mean, I front, like, if people, I'll go to your Christmas party and I'll be like, yeah, happy holidays. But inside, like, I really don't give a fuck. I find it funny because, again, this is part of, like, here at the Best Day Ever podcast, we call every day the best day ever because I feel like people are fake around Christmas time. Like, really fake. Especially since, like I said, I've volunteered. I do a lot of volunteering. So the one time of year that I always hated was Thanksgiving and Christmas because you'll always get those people who come and volunteer one day and they want to act like they are just fucking changing the world. And they always want special treatment and they always want you to act like, oh, you're doing so much. And they'd be like, oh, isn't this so great? Isn't this? I was like, yeah, why don't you fucking come out here in March or April? Come out here in the summertime and it's fucking 100 degrees, 105 degrees, and we're in here sweating our balls off. I was like, yeah, that's cute. You want to fucking come in here and take pictures and be like, oh, look what I'm doing. Like, I'm being so helpful. It's like, well, you know there's 365 days in a year, right? So you coming on Thanksgiving and Christmas really aren't helping. Oh, you're donating your time? Oh, yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Susan. We really appreciate that. Thanks, Bob. You're fucking 2 days a year. Thanks a lot. And it always, it was frustrating and it was infuriating at the same time because I feel like people are pressured into buying stuff. Like when I met my wife, I think she thought I was joking, but I don't really celebrate birthdays. People think I'm a Jehovah's Witness because I do this. I don't really celebrate birthdays. I don't really celebrate holidays. So Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, fucking Valentine's Day, Labor Day, Arbor Day, Groundhog's Day, whatever day you got, I don't really fuck with it. I don't buy gifts. Well, let me take that back. I don't accept gifts. And I don't really acknowledge those days as being special because to me, every day is special. So I get it that other people don't feel that way. So on other people's birthdays, I usually make a big deal about it because people like to celebrate their birthdays or whatever. That's your personal preference. I'm not going to shit on you because you enjoy celebrating your birthday. You have whatever reason you have for celebrating, and that's fine. I don't. Personally, I don't really accept gifts on my birthday. I don't really take presents from people on Christmas. Like if you give me a card or something, like I'll take it. But I mean, I'm not the person that's, it's my birthday, like all month we're celebrating or we're going to do this or throw me a party. Like I just don't. I don't. Maybe because I never got what I wanted on my birthday. So it's just kind of like, I'm used to not getting the shit I wanted anyways. So it doesn't really matter. Sorry. Or it's just with all of the people that I've lost over the years, it just becomes every day is so special that I don't really want to wait. It's like last year, I think I took my wife on 3 different trips. And they were all unplanned. It wasn't for anything special. It was just, I love you. I want to go on vacation with you. Let's take a trip out of town, get away from all this. And I'm sure she's had to explain this to her friends and family because when it's her birthday or Christmas, like I just don't get anything. I've never gotten anything. Like as long as we've been together 12, 13 years. And I just don't buy birthday gifts. I don't buy Christmas stuff. But I'll do random things. Like those trips that we went on cost a pretty penny, to say the least. And it wasn't like, I was like, oh, if you buy the gas, I'll do this. Everything was paid for. So I paid for hotels, cars. If we went out the time that we went there, it was all on me. And it wasn't because it was like, well, I'm doing this in lieu of your birthday or I got some kind of deal. It was, I want to do something nice for you. And some people don't understand that. Like they really were like, well, he didn't get you anything for your birthday. How could it's like, but you can do so much more because it almost feels forced. Like, especially when everyone has to do it the same day. Like, I feel like Valentine's Day is the fakest shit of all time. You didn't give me anything for Valentine's Day. It's like, well, what's the point? The point is there's this one particular day that you have to show someone that you care. It's like, so I can't do it any other day. I can only do it this one day. Thanksgiving, I mean, we already talked about Indigenous People Day. Like, they showed you how to live and you killed them. That's not worth celebrating. And then people try to flip it. Oh, well, it's the family together. Well, you can have a family together anytime you want to. Don't hit me with that shit. We're turning something negative into a positive. Get the fuck out of here. That and the fact that Christmas has nothing to do with religion. Or Hanukkah, or some made up shit like Kwanzaa. Like, get the fuck out of here. We made up Kwanzaa for black. Man, get that bullshit out of here. Somebody made it up in the 70s. If that's what you celebrate, if that's what you want to do, God bless you. Good luck with your red, black, and green candles. If you do Hanukkah, light your menorah, all that shit. If you want to push the Christmas shit, go ahead. Like I mean, here's the thing. I'm so full of shit. I just went to church on Sunday to give my mom a Christmas present because I only live like an hour away now. When I lived in Bakersfield, it was a little different. But now that I'm here in Oconda, I really don't have an excuse not to come visit because it's an hour away. So to be nice and to do the Christian thing, me and my wife drove down and surprised my mom at a church on Sunday. I got there, got in my Sunday best, and came down. So that was a nice surprise because I don't really go to church, you know. Religion, politics, and sports. 3 things we don't talk about here. But I went down. Jesus, I'm so sorry. I'm dying here. 5 minutes. So we go to church. We hang out for the service, which was kind of sparse this year. It's the least amount of people I've ever seen there. Usually there's more people there, but I guess the pastor wasn't there and something else. I haven't been. The last time I was at that church was, the last 2 times I've been there was for 2 different funerals. So I'm really not too fond of going there for any reason. This doesn't bring up good memories. But for Ma Dukes, we came down, did the Christmas thing. I took them out to lunch. It was my wife, my mom, and my niece. So we had a good time, talked about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and everything that he's done for us. Which is strangely ironic. Well, let me stop. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of religion. But yeah, Christmas is a pagan holiday, and so is your Christmas tree. It's really about the day Saturn, and just watch the Boondocks. Ask your man, Huey Freeman. He'll tell you all about it. I'm not really going to get into it. But if that's your personal preference, you know, some people go really overboard. Big tree decorations. That's when they see their family. It's just not for me. I know for some people that's a really big deal. That's their time of year to get together with family, loved ones, stuff like that. That's what's up. I guess. There. A long time ago. It's a funny Christmas story. There was this girl I was dating, and she had kids, and they did the whole Christmas thing. And one of the big things that they do is Elf on the Shelf. That's the new thing, apparently. Elf on the Shelf is, for those who don't know or don't have kids, Elf on the Shelf is, I guess, you put the elf in different places around the house or something, and the kids have to find them because the elf is watching you, and if you don't act right, then you don't get anything for Christmas because the elf reports to Santa or something like that. I didn't really get the full story. The kids seemed to know a little bit more than I did. So they asked me if I did Elf on the Shelf when I was a kid. I was like, no, we had a different game. They're like, well, what was it called? I was like, ours was called Belt on the Shelf. And if you acted up, they didn't tell Santa, you got your ass beat right then and there. And they kind of looked at me and they were like, are you for real? I was like, yeah, there was no telling Santa. I was like, Santa didn't come to my house. They're like, what? Santa didn't come to your house? Well, why not? And I was like, well, the story my dad told me was Santa kind of banned us from the Christmas list forever. And they were like, what? You were banned from the Christmas list? And I was like, yeah. Like, well, what happened? I was like, well, the story my dad told me was he had left out some milk and cookies for Santa, and I guess my mom had come downstairs and had saw Santa. And apparently Santa grabbed my mom's butt, and my dad saw it, and my dad beat Santa up. And they were like, no, you're lying. I was like, no. My dad beat Santa Claus up. So after that, Santa just never came to my house anymore. So we never got gifts from Santa, and he doesn't come to my house now. So anywhere that I live at, the kids don't get presents from Santa. They're like, no, Santa's not coming. I was like, well, see, here's the thing. Santa's not going to come. So that means that all the presents that you get are from your mother and I. So think about all the times that you want to argue with us and be mad at us. But then think about all the nice things that we do for you. We pay for you to live somewhere. We buy you nice clothes. We take you to the park. We take you to your friend's house. We buy you guys video games. So whenever you have Christmas, just remind yourself, it's not Santa that bought you all that nice stuff. It's mommy and daddy. Okay, Tru Sav. Thanks for everything. My dad beat up Santa. That shit was hilarious. You should have seen their faces. Their faces fucking dropped. Your dad got in a fight with Santa? Yeah, he beat his bitch ass too. I think I'm going to continue that Christmas tradition. I mean, I say it now. Like I don't plan on rocking with Christmas or the holidays. I don't know how the missus is going to feel about that one, but I just can't give credit to some fat dude in a jumpsuit. Like I'm not going to say that Santa bought you this. I mean, fuck, I'm working 70 hours a week right now. You're not going to take credit for that? Nah, That's not going to, I'm not going to rock with that one. Right under the time limit. I got to go because I'm going to die. I got to get up and get ready to go back to the plantation and be a sucker for the rest of the week. Man, I'm telling you, I know I've been promising for months. I got the pictures together. I got a co-host. Very big surprises for 2020. 2020 is going to be the shit. What is it? I think Christmas is on Halloween and Christmas are on a Saturday. Next year, Cinco de Mayo is on a Taco Tuesday, if I'm correct. It's going to be 420 all month next year. The 4th of July is on a Saturday. It's going down. Oh, yeah. Halloween's on the 31st. And Christmas is on a Friday. Oh, boy. It's going down. We still got the cruise coming up next year. It's going to be lit. Same thing as usual. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tru Sav Comedy. Questions, comments, concerns, best ever podcast at gmail.com. That is all I can think of. Oh, I'll tell you the name of it next time. I might not get yesterday. Wait, Jesus Christ. How am I going to fuck up my own outro? I can't get yesterday back. I might not get tomorrow, so that makes today the best day ever. Peace. Oh, yeah. Fuck Christmas, fuck Hanukkah, fuck Kwanzaa. I saved a lot of money this holiday season by switching to spirituality. And I'm out.